Welcome to Answers for Living. We are answering the question, who is Jesus? And Peter says, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. In the Apostles' Creed, we say, we believe in God the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord. He is our Lord. You know, in the Old Testament, the word for Lord was Yahweh. The Hebrew word for God is Yahweh. When the Hebrew Bible was translated into Greek, Yahweh became the word Kyrios. Kyrios translates Lord. It can mean two things, sovereign and master. So Jesus is our sovereign. This ties right into Christos. We call Jesus our Lord. It means that Jesus is the absolute ruler. He's sovereign over the entire universe. He has the right of sovereign rule. Therefore, as Christ's followers, Jesus is the sovereign ruler over you and me. Now, Romans chapter 10, verse 9 says this, if you confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord, that he's sovereign, that he's deity, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Confession is more than lip service, though. It is the conviction of the heart. It means that you believe what you are saying. Now follow me. Rome ruled a vast empire, stretching from Europe to India and across the northern coast of Africa. Their entire empire encompassed many local religions. Scholars call them the mystery religions. They are found in many parts of the Roman Empire. Each mystery religion had its own code of conduct, its own sacred writings, its own form of sacrifice, its own pattern of worship, its own sacred rites, its own priesthood. These religions seem to keep people pacified. So the Romans left them alone as much as possible. Now, Rome required taxes to be paid by everyone. And when you paid your taxes, you had to say three little words, Caesar is Lord. That's it. Now, these three simple words, say Caesar's Lord and go your way and live in peace. Well, the Christians wouldn't say Caesar is Lord. The Christians' faith taught that Jesus is Lord. And that is why in the days of persecution, Christians were slaughtered, murdered by the thousands, crucified, burned to a stake, run through with spears, thrown to the wild animals. This is what divided, or I should say, this is the dividing line Christians wouldn't cross. Jesus is Lord, not Caesar. Jesus is the sovereign ruler of our lives. Chuck Colson wrote, if you were to stand in a public square and shout, Jesus is God, no one would be upset. If you shouted, Jesus is Lord, you would start a riot. Let's be clear. Rome did not persecute Christians because they called Jesus God, or believed that he was a deity, or that Jesus died on a cross and rose again, or because they said Jesus is the only way of salvation. Those things were religious beliefs, and that didn't threaten the state. But when Christians said Jesus Christ is our Lord, and there is no other Lord, then that was a direct attack on Caesar worship, punishable by death. The lordship of Christ really matters. To call him Lord, to believe he is your Lord, means you have surrendered all you have to him. He is your sovereign. When we say, I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God, our Lord, we declare to the world that this is what we firmly believe and we hold dear in our heart and our mind.